So for this one, same idea. Clearly we have distributive property somewhere because there's parentheses. Clearly we have like terms because I've got a constant here, a constant there, a variable here, a variable there. So we do have a number of things that are going to need to get combined. Again, what should we do first? We should always do what part of this first?
The distributive property.
The distributive property. So we will distribute first. In this one, there's a little bit more of a question mark on that. What am I supposed to distribute? There is a common mistake that is made here. Naomi? The 15 would be the common mistake that is made here. So I am glad that you said that, because we are going to need to talk about that. Ellery? It's a -1.
Oh, I thought you were going to like add 15.
Oh, okay. So we are going to deal with a -1 here. When you see something like this where there's just a minus sign and no number in front of the parentheses, we got to remember there's always actually a 1 there. It is very, very common for people to try to distribute the 15 because you say, well, what number is in front of the parentheses? Because we usually distribute something in front of the parentheses. And we say, oh, there's a 15 right there. That's it. That's what we should distribute. Happens very, very often, but you have to remember this minus sign is separating that. The 15 is not attached to the parentheses, so we won't distribute it. It's going to remain a 15. We will distribute the invisible 1, and we will treat it as a -1 because of the minus sign. So we get minus 3x plus 3. And then we have our plus 2x at the end, and it still equals -12. So this is then turned into the same thing we saw on Tuesday, a problem where we have to combine like terms, but we have multiple pairs of like terms. Can someone please point out what like terms we have? Ann? Good. So the -3x and the 2x, the 15 and the 3. So we have our variables, we have our constants. 15 plus 3 is going to give us 18. -3x plus 2x will give us -1x. We usually don't write the 1. You can if you would like. Still equals -12. And once again, it has turned into a two-step equation. This one has turned into a special type of two-step equation that we did mention in class. It looks like a one-step equation, but it's not. We'll get rid of our constant by subtracting 18. Do not forget that this minus sign has not been used. So when we bring it down, it's now a -x. -12 minus 18 is -30. You could, and we've mentioned two ways to do this, you could say that that's an invisible 1 also, and divide both sides by -1. We also said you could reason through this logically. If -x equals -30, then positive x must equal positive 30.